Australians are inspired to understand their democracy.
You listen to D.I.Wireless, an Aussie punk rock podcast. Check it out, mate.
Working 28 years for the company. Will I ever be secure financially? I don't know, gonna have to wait and see.
Welcome everyone to episode 34 of D.I.Wireless. We're here once again on a beautiful Vancouver afternoon. And we're talking to a band who had a pretty crazy 2011 and a pretty eventful 2012 so far as well. They're actually probably packing their bags, or at least packing the van, about to head out on the Warped Tour for a few dates this summer, as well as doing some shows on their own on the way back to Vancouver with bands like Day Trader and the Swellers on a short tour. We're talking, of course, about the band Living with Lions, and we've got Bill with us. How you going, Bill?
Good, how's it going?
Not too bad at all. And
Landon. It's all good, I snuck in, man.
yeah, I just mentioned, are you packed for Warped?
Not quite yet. I got my bag sort of half packed. It never kind of goes from being unpacked anyways, so just got to go through it and wash my clothes. That's about it.
What about you, Bill?
I've been visualizing what shirts I wanted to bring. That's about as far as I've got. And like which deck of Magic cards I want to bring and which set of my dice for D&D I want to bring. So it'll probably all come together on Monday.
Can't forget those slingshots. The paintballs and whatever, pieces of fruit, vegetables.
I like to go down the side of the road and like slingshot paintballs onto the signs on the highway.
Troublemakers, man. Jesus. So it's your first time playing. Did you guys go a lot? I mean, did it skip Vancouver a lot, the Warped Tour in its history, or did you guys get to go a lot?
I got to go quite a bit when, because I grew up in Alberta, so it always came to Calgary as a kid, and so I went a few times growing up there, but I was probably about 3 hours away from it, so I had to beg my parents to take me, but ended up going, so it was fun.
Yeah, I think Warped Tour stopped coming into Western Canada probably maybe like 2007 or 8, I'd like to say. So all through high school, I went religiously every year, and a buddy of mine and I would get up about 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning every year, and we'd go and help set up so we could get backstage passes and try to like meet bands and stuff. So we were like, it was a pretty important part of my year growing up. And I don't know, it's pretty mind-blowing for me. I'm pretty excited that we're going to take part of it this year. We're really, really lucky, and we're super stoked.
It cops a lot of shit these days. Just like it was when it first started out, it's oriented towards a sort of youth market, but it cops a lot of shit, particularly from the older brigade, not just of maybe bands, but of fans as well, who are like, I can't believe the kind of bands that are playing these days. I mean, obviously, for you guys, it's still an opportunity to get to play in front of people who you might not have been able to play in front of normally, kind of thing.
Totally. It's gonna.
You hear the shit that's sort of said about it with some of the bands. You're like, I have no idea who these guys are or anything like that, right? Compared to the touring circuit that you guys have been a part of for a long time now.
Yeah, and there's a lot of bands that are in our genre that are on that tour that we've never played with or only just crossed paths with. So it's gonna be cool to get to. Hopefully, some of their fans will be interested in coming to watch us. So I don't know. And then there's all sorts of other bands that aren't in our genre. So.
Bill, we were saying like it's a lot different to what it was back in the day when you were going and Pennywise and NoFX were playing constantly.
Yeah, it's a lot different, but when you really think about it, like times change, and you kind of, if you want to stay on top, you're going to have to change with it. And I mean, I understand, and like I'm cool with it because it keeps it going, right? So I mean, it's better that the Warped Tour, I think it was always something special to me growing up, and they've adapted, and kids can still go and experience that. A lot of kids, is their first show. It's going to introduce them, like if they're into like metal bands or like whatever electro bands, like they're going to
Blood on the dance floor.
They're into those bands. Maybe they'll discover punk rock for the first time, or maybe a punk kid will go and discover a metal band for the first time. So like I think having a variety of different music is actually pretty cool, because you could totally find something you never thought you'd like or never heard of before. So It's cool. And I'm actually pretty excited too, when I was thinking about it, to meet this is a chance to meet people in other bands and other genres of music that I'd probably never get to meet. And like, I don't really care like what kind of music you play. Like, if you're a cool guy. So like, I'm excited to meet some new people. And
That's what we were talking about. It's like outside of your normal touring circle where you've met a lot of bands over the last few years, it's different people to hang out with, right?
yeah, I'm really looking forward to pretty much all aspects of this tour. Like I said, we have a lot of old friends that we're doing the tour. We're sharing a vehicle with one of our oldest and best friends. They're called 10 Second Epic. They're from Edmonton. So we're going to have a whole variety of people from all walks of life on this trip. And I think it's going to be probably the best summer ever.
Yeah, man.
Best summer ever. That's a big call. Have you talked to any of your mates in other bands about exactly what to expect and what to prepare for?
Expect your worst nightmare, man. It's going to be awesome.
Get to the Portaloos early in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. Find the showers, find the toilets, get all the essentials lined up.
Long, hot days is all I'm prepared for that, though.
Yeah. Cooler and a lawn chair and a couple of beers, and you should be set. And wear a hat and sunscreen, or you're dead meat.
You got to get to those Portaloos before the sun hits high noon, right?
Yeah, totally.
Guys, we always invite our guests to play some songs. Who's going to intro the first one? What have you got for us, and any reason in particular you're going to play it?
First song is going to be Skeleton Key by Banner Pilot, and that's a band that we all really like and listen to a lot.
An older song. Their new album's pretty good though.
It's very good.
No worries at all. We'll listen to Skeleton Key from Banner Pilot right now. You're listening to D.I.Wireless. We'll be back with the guys from Living with Lions shortly.
Life asleep with the sun coming up out east. We're driving down Caulfield Ave when you said a strange and significant. Then again, remember the words. This was a beautiful night. It won't ever happen this way again. No idea, nothing much grows right here. We carry our roots with us. A couple of weeks for the misguided. Girl, you'll be the heroine of my book. The blood is a course we took. The setting can't be nowhere else in the world. And the story opens up with you. You broken dreams and cheap perfume. You run a city bus, the rain falls. You make a please, the wind it house. And I stumble along from uptown bars. I guess that's all I've got so far, yeah. But at the end, I don't know how. You send me and you save yourself. It is so sad, not in the fading moon. I put my hand inside yours. The city looks strange and significant. Now these streets, the place where I live and die. There's none of that fact, but I'm hoping it happens this way again. No idea, nothing much grows round here. We carry our roots with us. A couple of weeks for the misguided. Girl, you'll be the heroine of my book. The blood is a course we took. The city can't be nowhere else in the world. And the story opens up with you. You broken dreams and cheap perfume. You run a city bus, the rain it falls. You make a please, the wind it howls. And I stumble along from uptown bars. I guess that's all I've got so far, yeah. But at the end, I don't know how. You save me and then you save yourself. And the story opens up with you. You broken dreams and cheap perfume. You run a city bus, the rain falls. You make a please, the wind it howls. And I stumble along from uptown bars. I guess that's all I've got so far, yeah. But at the end, I don't know how. You save me and then you save yourself. Fall asleep to the radio, try to keep what I got from you hard to do in these dreary days.
Welcome back to D.I.Wireless. That was Banner Pilot with the song Skeleton Key. And we're chatting with the guys from Living with Lions who are about to embark on the Warped Tour for the first time. But we have to talk about 2011 being a pretty crazy year for you guys for a number of reasons. Obviously, you went through some some band changes right around recording time for your current album. The album itself, to recap for people back in Australia what happened, the guys' label, I think, received some money as part of a grant from the Canadian government.
Well, we got money through our label from Factor to record our record, and our artwork was found offensive, and they wanted us to pay it back or change the artwork. So I guess to make a long story short, we didn't want to change the artwork because that's freedom of speech, and so we rallied together a Kickstart and got enough money because enough people cared about it, and we paid them back.
And then amidst all this is going on, you still managed to get out and tour as much as possible, you know. So it's almost a year on since all this shit's happened, right? Which is kind of weird to think. It's like time's going pretty quick. Is there anything you sit back now and think about it and you're like, I wish I'd known that back then, or wish I hadn't stressed about it as much back then? Like, basically, what have you learnt over this entire year?
Well, to be honest, I think we handled it quite well. Like, we had, when we heard about what was going on, we had just gotten back into Canada. We were in the States, and I was on the phone doing a radio interview, and this guy's like, so how much money he was a radio interview for some, I don't know, Ottawa radio station. He's like, so how much money did you guys get for your record? I'm like, I don't know, like, what the hell? I don't know, like, what kind of question is that? Because I had no idea what was happening yet, right? And then I get back to the van, and everybody's like, if anybody calls asking about the art or anything, don't say anything. I'm like, ooh, okay, like, and I guess then we just found out what was happening, and we didn't say anything stupid. We kept our mouths shut. We weren't like, fuck them and fuck yeah. Our main thing was like, okay, well, if you think that the Canadian people think it's a waste of money to give tax money to the arts, that's fine. So here's your money back, and we're going to find people who think that it's important, and they're going to give us money, and we're going to give you your money back. So we're like, here you go. So anyway, long story short, I think we handled it really well, and we didn't lose fucking sight of anything, and we kept touring, and we didn't let us bring us down, because I was kind of like, oh my god, like, what is happening? We had a couple like news teams come out to some of our Canadian shows,
because people would shit the brick sometimes when that's going on, because you guys it was mainstream media coverage, right?
Yeah, it was pretty wild, and I just thought it was so funny, and it was like on the front cover of the paper in Vancouver. And the biggest thing for me, because my mom was super Christian, it is super Christian, the thing that worried me and stressed me out the most, I was like, oh, I really hope my mom doesn't see this, because I don't want her to cry. And I think that, and she didn't really find out, I don't think so. I think we all in all, we handled it really well, and kept our sights on what's most important, and that's just touring and making music.
Obviously, people kicked in for Kickstarter, which was, you raised the money really, really quickly, which was awesome. There's obviously a lot of people who had you back in that respect. But did you get support from bands or people or places that you didn't expect through this whole thing?
We had support from people who had wrote us, and they were Christian people, and they were like, I'm a Christian person, I don't find this offensive, it's just a joke, like, honestly, it's just a joke. And so we've just found it funny. We weren't offended by it or anything like that.
Bill, you're saying, like, you know, people came out of the woodwork to sort of support you as well?
Yeah, it was really, really cool. And like, I think, we raised the money super quick, and I was blown away. It was just like do. In a couple days, the money was there, and a lot of people not only donated, but they took the time out of their day to make their own video responses and why they were supporting us. And just like, it's crazy that, like, you know, it's one thing to like throw 25 cents or a couple dollars into, like, you know, like those things at the store or someone on the street, but for someone to take the time to express how they feel and make a video or write a blog about something like that, like, that's really important to me that people did that. I thought that was like really cool.
There was one single person that gave us $1,500. $1,000, was it?
Yeah,
$1,000?
Is that the guy who got tattooed?
Yeah. This guy named Chris Carver. He's from Edmonton. He's a really cool guy, and he gave us $1,000, and I tattooed his name on my leg.
I gotta ask. I noticed some of the prizes you were offering. Has the song got done? Didn't you? Or was that a joke? Were you taking the piss, or there's actually a Sorry, to recap for people, you were offering to co-write a song.
Yeah, no, there's 3 bands from Ontario, or actually I think there's 2, and then one guy was like whatever. But we're co-writing with 2 bands from Ontario right now, and they're sending back riff ideas, and then we're gonna like be like, okay, well, this sounds cool, and then we're gonna write lyrics together. So it's quite a process to do this, especially with we've been touring a lot. But But yeah, it's going to be really cool. And I think it's neat for those guys and for us too to work with other people.
One of the big things that changed for you guys was the lineup changes that you went through, and that's sort of followed through into 2012 as well. Matt, who I know is in the other room at the moment because he's part of this household, is back on the road with you guys at the moment because Stu's gone to other commitments. Because he was still there and obviously still a friend, is it easy this time around having him slot straight back in to do these shows?
Well, he still like beats me on a regular basis and calls me names and tells me I'm retarded and shit, but it's a lot easier. I actually was just joining the band as Matt was exiting the band, but
that was another change that was happening right then, right?
Surprise, but I'm really, really excited because when I initially was going to join the band, I mean, I've known the guys for years, and I was super excited to play shows with Matt, and so I'm really excited to get that chance to do some shows with them. It's kind of like a childhood dream coming true. So like it's like double awesome. Like not only do I get to play shows with Matt Postal, I get to do it on the Vans Summer Warped Tour.
Oh, totally. And it's been awesome. Ever since Matt left the band, I've still lived with him. He's still like my best buddy, and we've lived together since then. So it's awesome to get him to come back with me because it was weird. We'd always been used to leaving the house together and like packing up, and then so it's been weird that he hasn't been able to do that, and now it's gonna be back to normal.
It would have been a good steadying influence as you were walking out the door, right, to go on tour.
Yeah,
he knew what was about to happen.
Oh, yeah, totally. And every time I came home, he'd always have like some beers waiting for me or like some sort of treat. It's awesome.
A fucking bed, man. That's what you need.
Yeah, I need a bed. Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll play some more music now. I think you guys were gonna play some Iron Chic.
And the first song off their EP.
It'd be great to hear these guys do some more music. You agree?
Yeah, this is actually one of my favorite bands, and I don't know. I'd like to tour with them one day, but I don't think they're like a full-time band.
I think they're a little bit older. I think some of the dudes used to play in Latterman.
That's right.
Yeah, so they I don't know if they tour too much anymore, but I would love to tour with them.
Listening to this. Iron Chic, if you're listening,
Definitely listening to this.
let's tour together.
This is Cutie Monster Man by Iron Chic. We'll be back with the guys from Living with Lions shortly.
Maybe
We're chatting with the guys from Living with Lions. Vancouver, I found now that I've been here a few months and I've got a bit of an idea. I've heard lots of different people say about Vancouver that it's a cool place to start out as a band. There's lots of different stuff going on, but at the same time, it's quite weird. It's actually quite hard to describe exactly what the music scene's like here. It's quite splintered, but not in a cliquey sort of way. Everyone's willing to sort of play with each other, but it seems not too many bands break out compared to like hotbeds that you see like around the other parts of the States and even maybe even over on the east coast of Canada. Like, how did you guys end up sort of breaking out and getting to tour sort of different places around the world after starting out in Vancouver?
Well, we've just toured, in the beginning we toured down in the States quite a bit, and we've always, tried to tour everywhere we found interesting and taken as many offers as we can do. And
but Vancouver, it's kind of like it's a weird place, right, Bill? Yeah.
Well, I think that a lot of younger bands and like people like to start bands when they're in their late teens to early 20s. I think a lot of there's Vancouver you can play, and there's maybe 2 other places you can play in the Lower Mainland. Maybe go over to Vancouver Island, but in Ontario you can do a week or 10-day tour and go to work every day. There's 3 hours here in a million different places. I mean, unless you go down to the States, it's kind of like you're stuck in this very, very small area. And I think a lot of young bands are really intimidated or kind of thrown off to get their permits or their papers to go down to the States. Yeah. That's what whenever young bands from around here ask me, like, do you have any advice? I'm like, just go get your visas and go down to America. And everyone's like, oh, it's too much work, when it really isn't. I think even in Alberta, like, having like Edmonton and Calgary have amazing music scenes, and people can go to and from, and lots of people. We have a good scene here. It's very small. Yeah. And yeah, there's just not really a lot of places. There's not even a lot of like venues really to play.
There's not too many all ages venues around the city, so shortage of venues. But everybody, the community is good here. Everybody is friends and from all different genres of music, and hang out quite often. And
it seems there's a lot still deeply rooted in what's going on in the past. There's a very big tie to the old school sort of stuff that's going on in Vancouver, and it's sort of like everyone's just happy, like you sort of said, sticking here and playing these little random venues or random places, and everyone's satisfied with that and not wanting to sort of break out and head anywhere else.
For us, it's like if you're really wanting to do a real tour, it's like you play Vancouver and then you drive 12 hours to play the next major market, and like that's pretty fucked through the mountains. It's expensive to do, like touring Canada is pretty expensive, and the drives are super long.
Gas is crazy.
It's kind of like Australia. A lot of people compare it because the capital cities, if you're just hitting those, they're 12 hours apart.
Oh, because I've never been to Australia, so I guess that is quite a good comparison, because that's what it's like here. So, but yeah, we've had so many times where our first show in Vancouver, and then we have to play the next night in Calgary, which is like you have to leave right after your hometown show, which is more often than not quite fun, and you have quite a bit of fun. And so, you have to leave at like 2 a.m, after the show, 2-3 in the morning, and then drive all through the night through the mountains, which half the time can be sketchy as well.
Let's play another song here on D.I.Wireless, chosen by the guys from Living with Lions. I'm not even going to be able to pronounce this. So the guys were like, there's this Norwegian sort of rock metal band that's really cool, and we're going to play some of this. Let's just say Kvelertak, and we're going to try and pronounce the name as, I'm going to just say Mojo with a D.
Yeah. Is it Mojad?
It's Mojad, Mojodo, or Jodo.
Yeah, the M silent. We're just going to call it Jodo.
Kvelertak is the fucking best band I've ever heard.
let's leave things off with you've toured enough now to know bands that have been to Australia. What are some of the things you've heard about being able to tour out there?
It's the best place in the whole world to go tour.
Totally true.
Every fucking band I see, all my friends that go to Australia, they all take the same picture holding the koala, or they're laying next to a kangaroo.
Yeah, you could get away with that in some park.
A dead one on the road taking a pose.
I heard it's really scary, like driving down the road and they like whap into your car if you're kind of in the middle of nowhere.
If you're driving to the venues that you guys will be playing at, you're probably not going to hit a roo.
That's cool. That's fine then. I just don't want to hurt any animals.
Just things haven't quite lined up for you guys to actually get out to Australia. There has been plans, but it just hasn't worked out. You've been busy doing other things.
We've already had like a couple months booked, and then we got an offer and it just didn't work out. But we really, really, really want to go over to Australia. It's definitely like on my list of places I want to go as soon as possible.
What will it take? You can tell us right now. Someone can put an offer on the table. Free koala pictures.
Yeah, plane tickets on Koala Air, and then stay at the Koala Hilton every night, and kangaroo chauffeur. No, Foster's. Is that the beer?
No one drinks Foster's in Australia.
Or koala sparklers.
I heard that
there's a drink called koala sparklers. Are you shitting me right now?
Yeah, I used to drink them all the time when I was a kid. They come in either like boysenberry, and then there's like a citrus one, and they have koalas on the bottle.
I thought it was an alcoholic drink or something. I was like, it's a bit of a girly name for a beer. Koala sparklers.
I heard that you can get avocado on like your McDonald's burger, or it's like a regular thing, avocado at fast food places there.
No, beets. Do you have beets on your burgers?
Sucks. I wouldn't want that.
Everyone has beets on their burgers.
We have beets, but at our grandma's house.
Oh, also we want to do a full tour with Smouse.
Guys, we hope we do see you out there. I'm sure things will line up eventually, and you'll actually get out there. It'd be great to see you do the road out there, whether it be in one of the larger festivals or on a tour yourselves. You'll have a great time. Thanks very much for taking the time out to chat with us here at D.I.Wireless. As I said, for anyone in Canada or in the States who's listening, these guys are about to head out for a few dates on the Warped Tour. Not all of them, but a short run as well. So thanks very much for joining us, guys.
You're very welcome.
Bill, thanks.
Thank you. Make sure if you're wondering where we're playing, all the dates are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/livingwithlions.
Well done. Got the plug in there as well. Let's play one of your songs to finish. Regret Song was perhaps a choice that you guys thought would be a good one to play. Is it a fun one to play?
It's, I think, my favorite one to play.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite ones to play too. I like it.
That's why we're listening to it. Thanks very much, guys. This has been episode 34 of D.I.Wireless. We'll check you later.